Hey, in this video we're doing a skip trowel texture. I'm doing a skip trowel texture in a bedroom. Simple hand texture anybody can do. I'm doing it with a 6-inch knife. It's an easy texture to do with a small knife. A lot of guys use bigger knives, but with this job let's do a 6-inch knife.
Let's do some drywall.
Yeah, so this is a bedroom. They had a wainscot with wallpaper. They've removed the wallpaper, so I'm just texturing the bottom halves of the bedroom walls. I'm doing a skip trowel. I'm using a red line that's a yellow mud. You necessarily don't have to use a red line muds. You can use a regular joint compound. For any textures, whenever you mix textures, you want to mix them thoroughly, nice and creamy. The consistency of a texture is like a heavy pancake batter. If the pancake batter is too heavy, then you can add a little bit of water and thin it down. But you want to mix them thoroughly. With the skip trowel, I'm using a 6-inch knife. There's a lot of guys out there that use bigger knives, 18, 20, 24-inch knives. If you don't do drywall all the time, just stick with a nice straight 6-inch knife. All these guys think they need to buy 6-inch knives, 8-inch knives, 10-inch, 12-inch, 14, 16, all these different knives. Well, how about you just start with a 6-inch knife, and once you master using a 6-inch knife, then you can upgrade to a 10-inch knife. The reason I like to use a 6-inch knife for skip trowel texture is because this is a painted wall, and with my 6-inch knife I can control the texture pattern. It's easier match. I could use a 12-inch knife, but I just use a 6-inch knife. It takes a little longer, but I'm able to do a perfect skip trowel matching. This is not a perfect skip trowel. It's kind of like a just slop on skip trowel, really is what you call it. There are different skip trowels. You just want to make sure you go the same direction and do the same pattern as a skip trowel. Basically, I'm just using a 6-inch knife. As you can see, it's a pretty easy texture. Most jobs out there have different textures. We have spray knockdown, splatters, smooth, Santa Fe's. This is a skip trowel texture. So if you're trying to learn how to do a skip trowel texture, this is a texture you can learn how to do with a 6-inch knife. If you don't want to start on a new drywall, just start on a piece of drywall, scrap piece of drywall or a piece of cardboard until you can get the pattern, consistency and pattern going. You want to make sure the mud's thick. Like I said, a heavy pancake batter. You don't want the mud just dripping off your knife. You want it to stick to the knife, and basically the texture is skipping. I'm not pushing down hard. I'm just letting the knife glide over the surface of the area. The surface area has to be dust free. You can't have dusted walls. A lot of guys always sand the drywall and they think you can texture right over the dusty drywall. Maybe with the spray texture, other type of textures, but with a hand texture, you always want to de-dust the walls with a wet rag, a wet sponge, let them dry, and then they're texture ready. I'm just skipping. You can go start at the bottom, bring it up, and then start at the top, bring it down, meet in the middle. If any light spots in between, you just fill them in. There's really nothing to it. As you progress with texturing hand textures, you'll get better and better with these skip trowels. There's some really nice, perfect skip trowels out there here and there, but most of these skip trowels out here are this kind of skip trowel, just a heavy. There's other skip trowels that are multi-directional. This texture just goes up and down. So I'm just starting at the bottom, baseboard, and just bringing it up. Around my electrical plates and stuff, detail areas, I want to get it nice and clean so when they put the new electrical boxes on, it'll be nice and clean, no gaps. Nothing to it. This is a texture anyone can practice on doing. Maybe you have a wall in your house that you want to change the texture on or clean up your wall. You can do it with the skip trowel. There's other textures like a Santa Fe, which is almost a skip trowel, but it's troweled down more, so it's more smooth. It's not so aggressive with the skip. That'd be a Santa Fe, smooth Santa Fe. This is a basic skip trowel. This is a texture you can learn how to do. There's a lot of videos on YouTube on skip trowels, but sometimes with these drywall texturings, it's more of an art. You can watch 100 videos, but until you actually do it yourself and practice makes perfection. So you just got to practice until you get your pattern right and you get your mud just right. As you can see, the knife is just rolling it off. Your knife, you're not putting no pressure on the knife, so you can't drop your knife. You're just basically letting the knife glide over the surface, and that creates the skip effect. That's why I'm using a 6-inch knife, because the 6-inch knife I have is perfectly straight. Sometimes when you use bigger knives, there's a bow in the knife, especially a 12-inch or a 14-inch knife. There's a bow in the center of the knife. When you get a bow in the knife, the material is going to be real heavy in the center, so that's why you want to use a straight knife. So if you are going to use a bigger knife for texturing, make sure it's as straight as you can get. Straight knives are hard to find. If you can find one, let me know where to get one. Using the 6-inch knife is more tedious. It takes more time, but we got plenty of time, so we're just going to do nice, easy skip trowel pattern. There's lots of muds out there, hot mud, stuff like that. Like I said with this, I'd only use a joint compound. They have joint compound light, joint compound this, joint compound level 5, whatever it is. Just use a regular joint compound that you thin down with water. You either hand mix it or you use a mixing machine and just mix it real thorough. And then when you think it's mixed good enough, mix it a little more. You want a creamy, heavy pancake batter for any type of textures. But hey, this is a skip trowel video. I got plenty of other videos on mixing muds, other skip trowel videos. I just want to kind of show you this video of skip troweling a bedroom. Simple job you can do. A little practice, you can be a texture whiz. Hey, subscribe and like this video, please.